He had come back from the East Coast to Chicago and New York. His overbearing manner, the women threw him out, his friends. So he came back here, had no job, no place to live, and I said to him, I've got that room. You can stay here for 2 to 2.5 years until you get a job and get your own place. In the meantime, he was taking over the control of my mind. It got to the point where I felt about 2 inches tall. Anything that I wanted to do, I had to ask permission with my own money. I'd see something in a catalog or in a newspaper, and I'd say, is it okay if I order that? He was co-signer on my bank accounts. I had my check register was messed up. He got that. When the bills came in, we had a little container where we'd put the bills in, and at the beginning of each month, we'd take the bills out, he'd look at the bills, write the check and sign it, and then have me check it before I mailed it out. I wasn't even allowed to write a check. And I knew something was wrong, but a mother's a mother. You don't want to think that way. I was unaware that he was using one of my credit cards to buy tools. He would go over to the store, buy certain tools, use my credit card. 2-3 days later, he'd go back there with the tool. It doesn't work right. And instead of putting the amount back into my account, he demanded the cash, and I gave him the cash because he was on the account. But from the time he was a teenager, he was always there with his hand out. He's going to have this, that, and the other thing. So I thought, well, that's part of his personality.
Did Barry ever call you names?
No.
No.
He never used a bad name or a bad word to me. He never laid a hand on me. He was always there to help. But even taking care of this house, he took charge of it because he was planning to make it his own. He had underhandedly coerced me into signing into a reverse mortgage. I didn't understand it because the salesperson was talking to him, not to me. He also, the beginning of the year, just about 6 months before we kicked him out, had drawn up a petition. How he did it, I don't know. But he drew up a petition to have me declared incompetent and put into a home and forged my signature on it. The family said, well, he's there, he's taking care of Mom, we shouldn't bother her. Well, she calls us asking for help. I didn't feel I needed to get any help from the family, but call me once in a while. Let me know that you think about me. Well, it got to the point where he would monitor my calls, stand at the end of the one hall to make sure I didn't tell them anything, and he keeps saying, don't tell him anything, don't tell him anything. Well, it got to the point where they were afraid to say anything to me, to contact me at all. Until my blessed granddaughter talked them into coming. Let's see what's wrong with Grandma. I don't like the way things are going on. They all came together. He was there at the house, and he knew something was happening. He went in and called his daughter and son-in-law from Riverside, and they came down. And the family said, we don't like what you've been doing to Grandma or Mom. We'd like you to leave for 2 to 3 weeks till we get some stuff straightened out. So they were there. My oldest daughter came in from Phoenix and stayed with me almost a month to make sure that I was able to handle things alone. And it seemed as though all of a sudden, as soon as he was out of the house, a door opened up for me. I was no longer afraid to look around, to do things, to ask for help from people. 4 days after we kicked him out, my oldest daughter took me shopping and she reported back to the family. There's nothing wrong with Mom. She does comparative shopping. She knows how to use coupons. She knows how to handle money. She's back to where she was almost 6 years ago.